Welcome back, guys. How you all doing? My name is Marx and this is Daybound Season 2, Episode 20. It was so incredibly hard to get on top of this copper thingy. What's it called? I'm not going to break it because it's going to think. So, this is probably in fact it is the last episode of this season and my last episode on Daybound as a whole. So, I figured I would do a world tour in shaders starting from spawn. So we didn't particularly actually do anything with spawn. Is there anything in these? No. This time around because I couldn't be bothered and apparently no one else could. But I did do these lanterns, which obviously weren't here, and I may have mentioned at some point during in the season. I have no idea. And we all started here, and it got blown up at some point by a creeper when Flaz joined. When someone joined, and there was a nice hole here, and I patched that up. And that's why these lanterns and everything got put down, and there's a clear path going to the mansion, I believe. But when we started out, we came from here, and we ventured through this tundra forest here, made our way down to what is now Magpie's base over here. We've got the fairy village over in the distance there, and we stayed there for a little bit. I'm not going to go over there just yet because obviously it's not what it was anymore. And then we moved into a kind of community base stroke selling area, which was this woodland mansion. Now we spent the best part of 2 days tearing this thing apart, literally inside. It took forever. There's so much more wood in these things than you think. And we basically turned it into, well, our own little version of it. Now, we sectioned it out prior in creative and kind of just went through what would be like a good base for it and had some rough plans for like a downstairs thing. And I salty designed these villager zombifying curing stations here, and Rabbit actually has a tutorial or something on them, I believe, as to how to make them and how they work and whatnot. They are pretty good. All the zombies died somehow. Don't look at me. Wasn't me. It might have been me. Whoops. It was an accident. And basically we lived in these sections here, and they gradually got converted into shops over time. So Magpie was there, Salty is here, Swarmy's over there, Hoodie's there. This was also just a dead space, like there was nothing really here, so Hoodie turned this into another shop. This is the LOL shop. It wasn't called LOL initially, I can't remember what it was called, but that looked like it said LOL. So I may have taken the mick out of him a little bit. And it became lots of lights to match it. And to be fair, there are lots of shroom lights, frog lights in here. Like he has crazy stock, partly because no one actually really bought them, which is a shame. He also sells Skulk in here. Wow, this place looks so much better with shaders on. Oh wow, like the Skulk kind of glows like stars. This thing looks amazing with shaders. So yeah, that's Hoodie's. It ended up actually being Hoodie's base rather than just shop. He didn't move out in the end. Life kind of got in the way, and then Swarmy's house here actually became, well, it always was a shop actually. He then just turned it into an end shop, and then we can go through his sneaky door here, and we have his initial storage. So there was a bit down there too. I don't know if there's still space down there. Yeah. Just an empty space now. And then coming up here, he packed out the inside, which I pranked earlier on in the season by filling it with coal, because I'm sworn off coal this season. Don't know if you knew. Yeah, horrible stuff. All because of another nether incident that we don't talk about when I took coal instead of obsidian. But yeah, that didn't happen. So he decked out this place, and it actually looked really nice. He turned it into like a little home before he moved out to relocate an entire ocean monument, which is just insanity. Actually, it is just insane. And then Magpie obviously started over here with her I don't know if the theme, if this place was themed, but it kind of touched it a little bit on like the magical-ish. And I go, oh, okay. I broke my shins. The magical sort of theme with it is very naturey and like, well, yeah, magical. And she expanded a little bit out into the back here, which was just outside the mansion to start with. And she pulled that off quite nicely. Oh, it's pumpkin. Oh, there's Raven's place. And then we've got Raven's place over here, which... This... Honestly, you need to go and watch Raven's series up until she went on to Vault Hunters and kind of just didn't really have time and whatnot to come on. But honestly, like the storyline she did with everything that she has is absolutely incredible. So this place started out kind of like haunted or just derelict and run down. I can't quite remember. Definitely go and watch it. The story's better. And then she transformed it, and there was this whole stranger, and it's really good. Like, I'm not doing it justice by ad-libbing what I can remember of it. It's honestly like it is really good. This was going to be a food court. Oh, apparently, kind of started to be a food court. Yeah, seafood court. Magpie and Salty. They never got around to that. So this just ended up being an empty room, unfortunately. And coming up here, we then, yeah, we forgot about the cast. So this was Sassy's room, and he had a bunch of cats in here that met an unfortunate end, and oh, Enderman head. Yeah, he gained pupils or googly eyes in the form of cat. Oh man, that shouldn't make the laugh as much as it does, but it does. Yeah, this thing was so creepy when I first saw it. I came up the stairs and it was like, what? The unfortunate thing is it's double-sided, so it gets you twice. And it's Flaz's fantastic sort of Asian themed and houses view. Man, I can't stop yawning. So Flaz's little Asian inspired starter room here with the big Zen, with the like little Zen garden in here, and then somehow managed to fit a whole storage room and decorate house the upstairs with cushions as well, which is quite cozy. And yeah, he's just crammed so much in such a tiny space. It's crazy. Like, this is you. This is such a bad view. Poor Flaz. I mean, it's worse down here. You come down here and it is literally just face. Look at that thing. It's horrendous. And then I don't know if he actually put out any content from here, but we've got Skippy's room just there. We'll get into that in a second. There's a little bit of a door height war going on with these two. But in here we have our resident walrus's aquarium. This is where he comes to chill out and spend time with his friends. It wasn't always full of water, and I'm not entirely sure how it's overly functional for him anymore, especially with the bed. But he makes it work, you know. He is a walrus, so it's home to him, I guess. But honestly, like when he did this, it was after I just ripped out all the external walls and redid all the outside walls. In the current, well, the current at the time blocks, they're kind of old now, like a year old. I've got new ones coming. So I did that, ripped out all the outside except for where people's houses were, and then he went along. In fact, we'll show you from the outside. He went along and sorry if that was a bit quick, and did this bit for his corner, which looks fantastic in his aquatic theme. And this is kind of what I wanted for the entirety of the mansion, is just like random bits of mismatch going together. Like we've got the actual bit that is with the mansion for Skippy's bit here, then we've got the aquatic bit, and we've got original mansion because Sassy never did. I'm getting so confused now. Sassy never actually changed the outside. And we've got mine, which is deep slate and tough. And then it goes back around onto the actual mansion bit because this is the outside of the meeting room. The meeting room? Yeah, like the boardroom, the hotel, not hotel. Oh wow, words. The mall, shopping centres, management office, because it's Granville Mart. If we go back to season 1 with the whole villager storyline, and then this bit's just general again, and again, so it's downstairs, and actually no, it's magpies, ravens. It's one of theirs. So yeah, that's kind of like was the idea for it, and it didn't actually happen too much in the end because it is a lot of work. Speaking of this room, this is our meeting room. So this is where we came to have our meetings when we had them. We've got a bit of dead space upstairs, which got turned into sort of storage. A big map of everywhere. So we've got a few bits and bobs going on here, which we'll get to as we go around my island. And that painting keeps changing. Honestly, I don't remember what the original painting was. I know it wasn't llama, pig thing. It wasn't that much I do know. We have a bed just for I don't know. I think just so someone could sleep during meetings. I forget the whole purpose of it. And the meetings that happened here very rarely actually had much substance other than us just being complete idiots. I thought there was a door down there. Let's get into this one. So I know he's got a high door and a low door. Here's the low door. We'll go in the low door. And there was Skulk in here. Well, not Skulk, like a Shrieker at one point. So Skippy came on, made a start in terms of like he built his room out, did the storage. We got 3 layers. So I don't know what the plan was for this. Obviously, this is his ores and things up here, and woods by the looks of it. But I don't actually know what Skippy's plan was. He was very constrained with time, and he lives like 6 hours the other way from most people. So like his time zone didn't really fit too well with people, unfortunately. And then this was the start of the log shop, my little starter place. I've still got so much stuff up there as well. It's ridiculous. I never properly moved into my thing. We had a guest at one point in the form of a Sev. I may have killed him at least once, but I have a Sev head. It's the rarest item on the game, and one of my spare katanas because why not? Apparently still some redstone stuff, a lot of honey, a lot of slime. Yeah. Oh, is that a rabbit head as well? I do have a rabbit head. So yeah, this is where the log shop started. I was going to do leaves as well, but that never panned out, and then I ended up using most of them myself. And we built this monstrosity floating out here, which is the same style that I built at the end of, well, no, not at the end of, on Dinnercraft, in my Mediterranean base, just not floating and different woods and things. But yeah, this got built. So let's see what some of the other guys have got as well. So there, as you can see, there's the lanterns. And the path kind of mostly got done. Still need to finish a few bits off. But we'll come back to that. So we're going to fly all the way over here. Hopefully this will load in nicely because it doesn't seem to want to with shaders on. Yeah, it's not happening. Come on, load for me. There we go. It took a minute. There's a lot of lighting updates to have around here. Ah, the Skelly farm. I forgot about this. So we do actually have a Skelly farm down here. That was our original grinder. So this is Magpie's cottage core fairy gnome. I don't know what her theme was. Sorry, Magpie. I don't remember what your theme was. But it was different. It was definitely different. Like we've got a gourd as a house. I'm struggling for words. And then we've got these cool, like, fairy little mushroomy. I don't even know what to describe them as, honestly. They're kind of. Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna. I don't want to do them disjustice? Unjust? I don't know. I don't want to offend Magpie by describing them as something that they're not meant to be. Yeah, that's the entrance to our mine. The well that actually is so much better. That well is so much nicer than what we had initially. It looks fantastic comparatively. And then this amazing lantern that she built here as well, which I think it was going to serve a purpose, I'm not sure. It obviously doesn't at this point. She never did get around to doing all the houses because we've got a couple up here. We've got, I think this is Swarmy's, and then her own. She never actually converted that, unfortunately. But I know her and Swarmy built the sheep hobbit hole here, which is fantastic. And it took me a while to find this thing because it is actually kind of hidden. And if you don't know it's there, you kind of miss out. I don't remember what this was. This was just us derping around at one point before, I think before we went over to the mansion from here. And it kind of just stuck the entire season. But there's quite a few starter things around here, Mr. Huggle. So I don't know if it's still there. There was a warden up there that was originally down here. That Magpie thought it'd be a great idea to have in a storage room. That didn't pan out quite as she imagined, I don't think. So he was replaced with Mr. Huggles here. I mean, he was called Mr. Huggles, but this is the Mr. Huggles that ended up staying here. Now, we did at one point give Magpie the pain. I don't know if you remember the pain game. It never really took off because Magpie ended up not actually being on too much because of things. But it was hidden up there. At the armor stand, not the armor stand, the book was here. So it's quite a sneaky little hiding place, maybe. I don't know. I didn't want to do it too difficult because that would have been unfair, and it was the start of the game, and I wanted it to continue. Not that it did. But yes, that was where the pain was. I don't know if she ever got round to moving it on to someone else, but it is what it is. And over here we have Albany's apple. I don't know if he is happy or finished with bits at this point. Oh, we've got the little leafy bit, whatever the base bit is. I don't really know what to describe that. You know, the brown bit that you get at the bottom of the apple, like the crunchy leafy bit. Obviously, we've got a stem just here. And there is a secret entry. Here it is. There's a secret entrance just here. There's the door. Okay. So if we press that button, we should be able to drop in. There we go. Inside, and oh, he actually got around to doing a little bit more inside. So last time I was here, the inside was entirely empty. He's obviously been on and done a little bit since. I know he was going to have a bunch of stuff in here and just make it... It would have been insane. Unfortunately, again, life gets in the way. We're not none of us are full-time. We have actual jobs. So things don't always go to plan. But this thing is monstrous, and he half tore it down at one point because it wasn't quite right and redid it, which was just insane. And over here we have, speaking of insane, Swarmy's absolutely insane project to rehouse this. Now, I don't know what went through Swarmy's head with this, because honestly, this is just crazy. He rebuilt the entire ocean monument. Not for the intent of, obviously, Guardians, because that wouldn't work. But yeah, by the island. And the thing is there are some by the island. There's one literally the other side on the... There's a small mushroom island. There's one literally there. And I think there's one off one of the sides of the island. But no, yeah, he wanted one here. So he just casually relocated it. And then we've got this oil rig type... I jumped over these, I think I can walk on it. Yeah. This oil rig type structure that he built over the top of it, and he's obviously got plans for, or had plans for what was going to go here. And in these sections just here as well, I think this might have been farms, maybe? I'm not 100%. It might have just stayed empty because they do look kind of cool empty. And again, life happened, and unfortunately, it is not quite finished. He did so much work in such a small time, though, to actually get all this done with all this calcite as well. And here we have one of my favorite areas on Daybound, which is Angler's Rest. This place just here, which is Ravens. As I said earlier, you need to go and watch Ravens episodes because the way she developed this place was incredible. It's not something I've particularly seen before. There possibly is people that have done it the same way before, but honestly, it was fantastic. She basically built it as telling a story, so things didn't appear until she needed them within her story. And honestly, it's just incredible. She included like bits up there, the mansion, other people's bases. I know at one point she took a trip over to Kazuya Island. So I had to actually come up with lore for that episode because I've not actually done it yet. So I gave her a bit of lore for that, which helped actually. It helped me. So you know, it was cool to do that. But honestly, this place is fantastic and it looks incredible in shaders. Honestly, it's just, especially at this time of day. We've got a little frog area here. It did have a lazing, I believe, at some point. I can't remember what is in all the buildings and who lives where and whatnot. But it is just incredible. I know this was one of the first places that came up, and when I saw this, I was like, okay, we're in for a treat with what comes here. And we've got the lighthouse over there as well, which was also one of the first things, which I believe is an iron farm. Yeah, I mean, this is just some of them. We've got plenty more places. Let's pop back over to the mansion because we have an incredible feat that you'll have to go and check out their channel to see the finished product, because unfortunately it may not happen too soon. Let's just sleep. And that is what Flaz has planned. So he obviously has had a lot going on and not being able to get on to actually do what was planned, which is unfortunate because it's the same thing sort of that happened with, well, it is exactly the same thing that happened with season 1. And by the time he got on, people were sort of dwindling and starting to fall off, and it sucks being on a server on your own unless that's your intention. Like when you plan to be on with people and no one's on, it's hard going. But he has built, and I know he's done this on stream. So if you've not seen it, go and check out his channel. Everything's on there. But he dug out by hand this entire hole. I don't really know all the history to it, other than that's like an ancient ruin that was buried and he's dug it out, and that's partly why like there's bits of stone and sediment and stuff that's kind of left over because it was too hard or whatever to excavate out. And around it you've got the ruins and you've got these natural holes that have formed like in the sides rather than like repairing them. He's got a whole plan going on. This was going to be all built up more, and he changed it partly because of my ship, but also other reasons, which I get. I understand, and thank you as well, because you know they could have made things a little bit complicated, but he did have other plans for like how it was going to do, and he adjusted those based on stuff that was happening. It's honestly, what he has done is very impressive. Like the way it looks, it genuinely looks like something was here, and he has unearthed it and done it. So it is incredible what he's done with this. So well done, Flaz. And from here, we're going to actually make our way into the Nether and go to a rabbit space, which is not around here. He's the only one who doesn't really live around. Oh, damn, Salty. Yeah, we can do Salty as well. He lives the furthest away. And you've seen this before. It's any day now. And we're going to see, oh wow, this in shaders. I've not actually been in here, I don't think. You should look at the fendel here. Shaders. I need to check this place out as well, because this was one of Rabbit's massive projects, and unfortunately he didn't get to finish it, and I was going to do it, but I don't know. He's been on. I'm sure there were 2 holes, so he's been on and filled one of the holes, which is awesome. I don't know what that is. Yeah, this was Rabbit's biggest project, which was to actually cover this in a dome, and it was going to be like the Upside Down from Stranger Things. That was the idea of it, and we've got like an Upside Down themed mansion, which is what this is. So it's all overgrown, really. That was the idea of that, and that was initially going to be it, and then this whole craziness developed from it, and we've got various different little nether hubs going on in the garden of the mansion. So we've got Magpie's upside down nether hub, which is like a twisted version of her normal one in her base. We've got the respawn shrine over there, I guess. Ignore the sheep farm. We've got ravens just here, and then my little one just here. Oh, excuse me. And then we've got a few out here as well. We've got some Halloween. Oh wow, this place looks creepy. Some Halloween things still up from what the guys did. Now I believe it is. Is it this one or is this old? Yeah, this is Rabbit's place. So we go over to Rabbit in a moment. We will see the crazy base that he also did. So again, another dome, another sphere. But he came into this massive hole. Massive cave. So it was natural cave, and this is where our end portal is. So here in the end, in the stronghold, he overtook the place. We've got corruption coming off the portal. A floating dragon head because he was collecting heads. So someone's obviously left that for him, and he got rid of the frame and obviously replaced it all with skull, which obviously gives the effect of the corruption, and he's quite impressive. He's a technical mind on the server. He does the things that we don't know to. He's got a party going on up here, I believe, with all of us, and apparently cat heads, rabbit heads. No, rabbit heads. Yeah, these are rabbit heads. And a cat. So yeah, we've got a party going on here with a phantom and a Vex. Oh, frog lights. Oh look, there I am. But I'm apparently not doing anything. I'm just kind of looking into the. Oh, I'm eyeing up the chocolate bar. That was it. So that's what's going on here. Someone pranked him. We've got more heads down in his vault area, which is a bit of a disturbing room, so we're not going to go in there. And this basically, it consists of many farms. So the idea was that you come along here and there was just farms off the sides and stuff. So we've obviously got an iron farm there. We've got villagers here. And there's a few other bits and bobs down there. Obviously the other project took an awful lot of his time, so he didn't get quite as much of his base done as I think he would have wanted. But it was a good start. He did all that quite early on, and then obviously started the insane project that was the base. Nah, the dome even. This insane dome. Is it that one? Ow. Ravens. No, that's Raven Die Farm. Is it? It's not that one. It might be this one. That's exactly what I was just going to. Is it this one? Salty's industrial platform. Is it this one then? Salty's. Oh. Okay, we may experience some lag through here because of a prank that happened to Salty. Yeah, he's got loads of horses and endermites and all sorts going on here. Oh yeah, he sorted them out, didn't he? I forgot. So this is Salty's little storage area that you come out into. He's obviously planning something because we've got some shulkers ready. And we come up here and yeah, you can hear the endermites. Oh wow. So we got the endermites in there, so we won't go in there. These are some of the horses. I don't know if that was all of them. It may have been all of them. And we've got some stables just to... Oh, no, okay. Oh, yeah. Fair enough. It definitely wasn't all of them. Yeah, oh wow, that's a lot of horses. That's a big stable. quite a nice stable actually. And then the horse paddock as well. Okay, so I believe he was going with a borrower theme for his base, and everything was going to be massive with borrower things underneath, and an apple with with a worm. Hello worm, moldy apple. So yeah, this table would have taken a while in itself, and it'd been great to see it finished, but unfortunately, just time constraints again. It seems to be a running theme which has hit us quite hard here on Daybound, and that is time constraints. So sadly, there's not a lot to show at Salty's place because there's not a lot there. But moving on from there is only actually one base left to show, I believe, and that is what I have finished with my own island. But I think before we show my island, we should see what it was like in the first place. So we're going to jump onto, well, we're just going to go and see what it was like beforehand. Alright, so here we are on a brand new copy of the server. And honestly, it's quite incredible to see what the island used to look like. It's so different. It's so incredibly different. Well, a lot of it's different. A lot of it's still the same. But it is quite different still. I can't actually remember. I can't remember that it looked like this at all. Because I took down like 90% of this hill just here and just leveled off so much. I did that so many times as well when I was here. I leveled off and built up so much of like this area. This was all built up and just changed so much of it. It's unbelievable what this island used to look like just before I came on. I remember taking down all these trees and how long it took. Oh my god. It's so incredible how much I changed this island. So this is what Daybound Kazuya Island looked like when I first stepped foot on it. For bees, actually. It was this place. And then we go to what it looks like now. I'm in free cam mode here, so a little bit isn't loading in, but oh my days, the difference. Compared to what we've just seen in this. Like the entire bottom is just flattened off we've got a slight little cliff here. Also the mountain that was custom built here after I ripped the entire thing down around here. Our bamboo forest that we recreated, and every single tree on this island is a custom tree. There's not one tree here that isn't a custom tree. They're all, literally every single tree here was built by hand by me painstakingly over a couple of weeks, and I think there's like 70 odd trees or something in the end. Not as many as I took down, considerably bigger than the ones I did take down now. They're supposed to be an indigenous tree to Japan. I can't remember the name of them. I will find out. I'd have to check my schematics. But we've got two entrances to Kazuya Island. So we're going to start with this one over here. So we'll make our way down there and come across this way. And then we'll do a walk through the island to how it's meant to be. So we'll head over there. So if we were to make our way to Kazuya Island from this side of the main island, we'd come to one or two paths, either just here, coming up from over by ravens and magpies and swarmies and orbneys, coming up here, or from plazas or the mansion if you're going by foot. So you're coming along this newly built path up through the hill here, so going up, through the forest, up the side of the cliff. So this path was sort of naturally here, and obviously it's been cut out a little bit, but it cuts up through But this bit was a natural path, and we saw this little sort of cut in here and dug all the way through it. Now it's been textured out a little bit, and it's obviously lit up. It could have been done a lot better, but in all honesty, with the end of the season been happening, I thought I'll just texture it and we'll go with that. But this side we have a properly done path leading down to the bridge that we built as a collab. Raven, myself, Flaz got together. We designed it with everyone, and unfortunately we just couldn't get everyone on at the same time. And we built the big Bounders Bridge. This beast just here, which did take quite a while. It's a retextured version and redesigned version on the actual bridge. So the towers are retextured of a design I'd done in the past myself. The legs underneath are different. Like the bases are redone by Magpie, and then we redesigned the path, and then it was adjusted by other people. So it was a collab on the design there, and this connects the main island to my island in a incredible feat that is quite long, a long bridge. It didn't take us too long to do, and we've got the candles on the side just to give off enough lighting so we don't have spawnable spots in the middle without having to do carpets and things, which I like. It's nice. These actually give off quite a bit of light as well. And then we come over here to... That's quite dark under. I've not actually been under here since I built this. It's really quite dark under here. Stuff's going to be able to spawn up there. So the tunnel here. So this is what will have been dug out to come to Kazuya Island round the underside and back. So I dug out all this. And obviously I actually put quite a bit of effort into doing this, unlike the one up there. I apologise. So this comes around, and we've seen this path before. It just cuts around the side of the island. We've got a nice view of it'd be awesome if there was a big base over there, I said before, but sadly no one built over there. And we can't quite see Swarmies from here. We can see the start of Angler's Rest though, which is cool. And this is from over here, so you know we might be able to see more at the top of the island. So we cut around here, and obviously this leads to just below the shrine in the end. Cut around, we've got another big tree up there. And you can't actually really see it from here, but there's a little... Oh, that's a good view. There's little snippets of the shrine up there, so we can see the back of the tea room and the top of the actual main building there. We can't see the administration sort of office room that's at the back. So obviously this is one of the ways into Kazuya Island if you were to come on foot this way. However, the main way of coming into the island, and we're not going to go any further up because I don't want to ruin the experience as it is. Nico first, by the way, I checked. So yeah, we're not going to go any further than this. We're going to jump over to the beginning of the island and go from the base where it's supposed to be, the experience. But yeah, this would be one of the paths into the island if you were to come. So you're coming through the bridge and cussing around just underneath the shrine here. And obviously through here we have my tree farms, my money makers, and obviously my bone meal to supply them. So bone meal for 3 tree farms, 1, 2 there, and there's a third one. So all the wood from 3 farms, which is quite impressive. Anyway, let's jump over to that other section. Here we are in what would be if you came into the island from the nether. So you arrive here into this, which is my first Asian inspired house, which I got off Pinterest. I believe it was a Korean house, and I kind of just adjusted it to suit my needs, which turned out to be very difficult. I spent ages on this thing. And it was just to work out how to do the walls, which was crazy. And it serves no purpose other than the fact that my nether portal's here. Literally, I had no other reason for it. You could argue it's the farmhouse-ish for my rice paddies. But we've got a nice ocean view just here. as well as the trees and whatever island over there. And apparently a dying tree was over there. Okay. So this would be the experience you'd come is if you were on foot walking through. You come in, you've got these massive trees everywhere. You can't really see anything as soon as you come out. You've got a little bit of a glimpse of the Tory gates up there, so you know obviously something's up there, but you don't really have anything. You've just got these big trees blocking your view. Obviously, you take a little bit further, you can see the back of the shrine there, so you know you want to head up there because there's definitely something up there, and it's worth checking out. And these are intended to be like the baskets that they wear on the backs to collect the rice. I did try with armor stands to do little straps, and they just looked awful. I tried all sorts. I tried sticks, I tried leather legs, boots, helmets, all sorts, and in the end, I gave up. It just didn't look right. I couldn't get the angles right, and I was like, you know what, we'll just go with that, and it kind of does the trick anyway. It wasn't going to be really much more than that. But yeah, we walk along here. We've got bits of grass and things growing all over the place, but it's mainly the paddy fields which are your biggest asset down here. Actually being down here, you get a feel for how big they truly are and how amazing it is looking right now that the sun is setting over there. Amazing, and you can see all the lights starting to shine and everything as to lighten up to make this place safe. But we'd make our way through the paddy fields. The massive size of these paddy fields is ridiculous. I don't realize it when I'm flying over, but my gosh, they are just monstrous. So coming up here, so we've got all our paddy fields, and then we've got a little bit of a cliff going on here. We can see the main island over there. A little bit of cliff, and lo and behold, more paddy fields. This is Kazuya Island's main source of income, is the fact that, you know, they grow and sell rice. They use it themselves, obviously. You can use the discarded rice, wheat as well for various things, as well as obviously you got rice as well. Now coming up here, there's very little. It's just very overgrown. And you kind of get lost in the trees a little bit, so we can still see a bit of the shrine. So we're gonna make our way up there because it's a point of interest. Relatively safe. I don't think there should be many mobs spawning on us, if any at all. There might be the odd one deeper in, but I did do my best to try and get rid of mob spawns. Coming through, we enter into our bamboo forest. Now, initially I planted it everywhere when I tried it, and it was ridiculous. So then I kind of just spammed it randomly, and it came out a lot better. Like, you can actually make your way through. It's dense enough that you can't really just walk, but it's not too dense that it's obstructed. Now for this next bit, I think I'm going to sleep real quick just before we go and experience this next bit just here. So bear with me 2 seconds. Again, night slept away. So coming up here, we obviously see we've got the Torii gates. So you've worked your way around. We've got the Torii gates, and now we can now see there is something that's crept up on us over there, and we're gonna go and see what that is in just a minute. We can see there's obviously some more big trees up there, but we're gonna make our way up here now. One of the details I added recently was the charms here on the side. I don't know if they're correct. I really don't want to offend anyone with them. I've seen them in some pictures that they do have them sometimes on Torii gates. So I apologize if that's incorrect, but it adds so much character to them. It really does. I couldn't not add them when it adds so much character. So coming up here, we've got the 4 Torii gates or 5 Torii gates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Torii gates. So coming up, we come through the Torii gates. We still can't see what's up here properly. We're getting little glimpses of over there as we come up. And we're going to make our way over there, as I said. Coming up here, we're coming through the Torii gate, so we've got the shrine, the charms, totems, I've completely forgot my words now. As we come up, and at the top, we reach our Torii shrine. a Torii shrine, a Shinto shrine. So we've got the Zen garden just here, and our first massive tree. So there's a whole process in visiting a shrine, as I mentioned before. I'm not going to go through it. I know you would wash your hands and whatnot here, and that if you want to see the breakdown of bits and bobs, obviously you can watch the episode. And then coming up here, we have our tea ceremony room, the admin office, and our shrine itself. And as you can see, I have added even more just here. Now, this would be something that you do see on a shrine. The brown concrete powder there is supposed to be a rope. So really, they have quite thick ropes just there. And then the charms coming off it as well. There would be one hanging down to ring the bell and do the whole custom. But this is the process that you would go through for this just here. I do appreciate it looks so much like a face. It was even worse before. I had to move the bells because they were either side and they just looked so much like eyes. And now it's just kind of like, yeah, I can't unsee it. And I apologize to anyone that didn't see it, but you've got 2 eyes, a nose, you've got your mouth, and then some like weird wispy hairs coming up from underneath. So it's even got ears. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm sorry to anyone who didn't see that, but I can't not see it, so you've got to suffer as well. It's a face. Anyway, that's aside. In fact, I wonder if we can experience. Yeah, so coming over to the big tree, we've got spore blossoms galore in these things, just to give off. Also, we don't have a cherry blossom effect just yet. That's coming, which is super annoying because I've built these this season, but you never know. Going into a single player, the world's my oyster, and I'm planning on kind of repeating the storyline that I tried to start before. At least starting again. There's Wandering Traders on there. And obviously we can see there's definitely something over there we need to go and check out. And by the looks of it, yeah, there's something there as well. So that's the point of the island. You're coming through, you're discovering things as you come through, you're up at the shrine, you've seen there's more to explore. So let's go and explore. I thought I did fences up here, maybe not. That's something I need to do before the end of the season, is add fences coming up the sides. So we're coming through, we've got more dense bamboo, and again, we can't see much at all. It's all hidden behind things. We've got a glimpse from up at the top, but there's still really nothing to see. We can't see what's down below anymore, and we can't really see the shrine anymore. So we're going to make our way up through the island to what looks like the owner's manor. But wait, there's something before. So obviously, we know the story of Kazuya is that he's a Ronin and he came here to make his money. So this is his manor on the island, and he's got his own personal shrine and blacksmith. We don't know who works at the blacksmith. It could be anyone that he brought with him. I never actually created a story for that. It might be his son. He may make his own, but we're coming and we've got a few materials around. Here we've got swords, katanas that he's already made, that have been made, waiting to be used. Obviously, I know they don't have the scabbards, but we'll pretend they have the scabbards, and they will be hanging sideways, but for reasons they don't. His hammer's ready on the anvil. Yes, it's an anvil hammer on an anvil. I didn't know. I did it with blocks to start with. It looked a bit weird. I was like, you know what? Let's go with anvils, and it kind of works. So it's set up. He's got his fuel. He's got his raw resources and things. He's got a bit of coal going on in the background. Some iron ready to use. We'll pretend it's steel. No idea what they would be. Or they could be like whetstones, tucked up on a shelf, ready to sharpen the blades. And then obviously grindstones and stuff just here. And he's got his own little field outside because, you know, he might have opium on the side, you never know. A bit of a poppy field or something going on. Anyway, coming through here we have a slightly squashed moon door. we'll ignore that. And we have a very different area. So we've got nice lush grass. It's all big bushes and things going on. It looks very well kept. And a day scarer. Actually, totally don't know you. I cannot stop yawning. And we have the manor. So first things first, let's explore what we've got around here. So another custom tree. This time it's a big azalea tree. All azalea. We have 2 massive trees. One obviously down there and one overshadowing the bridge and at the top of the cliff as a feature of the top of the cliff. And we have a big Zen garden just here. So this is his own Zen garden that he built himself. We don't know. Kazu is a mysterious man. So he has his own Zen garden just here, along with a pond over there, which we will come to in just a moment. Because stay away from the stairs, Kara. It's really annoying. I didn't add too much to this place because there was an awful lot here already. We can hear it anyway. So we've gone through here before. We've obviously got our kitchen, our main room there, what we'll get to in a moment. The dining room just down here, away from the kitchen, but obviously you've got your servants and attendants bring them to you. The dining room just here, and our bath through here as well. Again, I went off a plan for a house I saw on Pinterest. Everything's off Pinterest. Pinterest is great. Use Pinterest if you're building things. And over here we have our ceremony room. So this might be where they have more intimate meetings with guests and things over tea and whatnot. The bedroom, which is just here. And then we have the main building of the house, which this would be where people come to pay their respects to Kazuya, and where he would obviously meet guests and things. He's got his katana and his helmet here in the building, along with some changing things on it. There'd be like his armor or something around. Obviously, underneath we have our storage, which, let's be honest, it's massively overkill. I'm never going to go this big again. It is just ridiculous. I don't know what I was thinking when I built it. I thought I'd gather a lot more things. Right, to the day scarer. I missed a vital piece of this before finishing, which is the little bamboo thing on the middle of the island, which I may still add yet, but I probably won't because it's going to be really fiddly, and I bothered at this point. In all honesty, we're here doing the tour, so it'd be a bit daft to add that after the fact. But here we are. Under the massive tree, we've also got our nice big pond. No carp in there, but plenty of vegetation. So frogs, fish, anything could be there. Coming around the back of the house, we have a nice vantage point over here to watch the sunset, as we can do right now. Look at it go. As I mentioned earlier, we might be able to see something from here, but we can't because it's way too high. So let's try the other side of the island. Can we see anything from here? Again, just Angler's Rest and the Bounders Bridge. We can see lit up in all the glory the path going up the side into the face of the mountain. And I believe that is actually going to be it for me from Daybound. Not only this season, but also any seasons that may happen after. I am leaving Daybound, despite being the only remaining founder. This is the end of SMPs as far as I can foresee. What did I just break? I broke one. There. Yeah, I don't think they work for me. So I'm gonna try my hand at my single player again. Try with that. Hopefully that'll play out well. It's gonna be probably like monthly episodes, maybe a little bit longer depending on work and things. But we'll come to that. We'll have an episode 0 for that, for explaining what we're going to do. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for supporting Daybound, and keep supporting the guys that continue with it. They're a great bunch of guys, and I'll see you next time. Ciao for now. Bye bye.